Chloe, pick up the phone, please. I'm sitting in my car outside the apartment and I can't go back inside. He emptied the joint account. All of it. $42,000. I logged in to pay the caterer and it's just gone. 6 weeks before the wedding, Chloe and he stole my entire life savings. I left the ring on the kitchen counter. I don't have any money. I don't know where to go. Please, just wake up and call me back. Hitting send on that voicemail felt like throwing a grenade into my own life. It was out there now. The secret was out. My picture-perfect 5-year relationship was officially a crime scene, and my best friend was the first responder. I dropped my phone onto the passenger seat and buried my face in my hands. $42,000. I couldn't even process the math. That wasn't just money. It was 3 years of double shifts. It was the inheritance my grandmother left me. And David, the man who kissed my forehead every morning, the man who picked out our wedding bands on Tuesday, had quietly, systematically drained it all by Friday. I sat in the freezing car, shivering in my thin trench coat, waiting for my phone to ring. Chloe was a notoriously light sleeper. She kept her phone on loud specifically for emergencies. But the glowing screen on the passenger seat remained completely dark. 10 minutes passed. The cold dampness of the car started to seep into my bones. I didn't have anywhere else to go. I picked up the phone again, my hands shaking so violently I could barely unlock the screen. "Come on, Chloe," I whispered to the empty car. "Wake up." I opened my recent calls log to try her again. My thumb froze. The blood in my veins turned to ice water. All the air was violently sucked out of my lungs. The name at the top of my recent calls list wasn't Chloe. It was a string of digits, an unsaved number. In my blind, tear-soaked panic, I hadn't tapped my best friend's contact. I had typed her number into the keypad from memory, and I had gotten the last digit wrong. No, 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 no. I had just left a hysterical, sobbing confession about my stolen life savings and my absolute emotional ruin on a stranger's phone. I threw the device back onto the passenger seat as if it were literally burning my skin. I pressed my hands to my face, a hysterical half sob tearing out of my throat. Of course, it wasn't enough to be robbed and heartbroken. The universe required me to be utterly humiliated too. I flinched, my shoulder slamming against the driver's side window. The screen lit up the dark interior of the car. It wasn't Chloe. It was a text message from the unsaved number. A sane person would have ignored it. A sane person would have blocked the number and dealt with the collapse of her life in the morning. But my sanity had checked out 2 hours ago. I reached over and picked up the phone. I expected a question mark. I expected a wrong number, crazy lady. Instead, there were 2 lines of text.
I think you have the wrong number, but do not marry that man.
I stopped breathing. The response was so blunt. It didn't sound like a prank. Just reading the words on the screen, I could almost feel the heavy, grounding weight of the person who typed them. My thumbs hovered over the keyboard. Oh my God. I am so incredibly sorry. Please delete that voicemail. I was trying to call my best friend. Please pretend you never heard it. He didn't hesitate. The typing bubbles bounced for exactly 4 seconds.
Deleted. You're safe.
A massive, crushing wave of relief washed over me. He wasn't going to save the audio. He just handled it. I was about to put the phone down when the 3 gray dots appeared again.
You said you were sitting in your car. Are you in a safe location?
I blinked. The man I had loved for 5 years had just stolen my future and gone to sleep in our warm bed, and a complete stranger at 3 in the morning was asking if I was safe. I'm fine. I'm parked outside my old apartment building. I don't know what to do next. Go back to sleep.
I wasn't sleeping. And sitting in a parked car at 3 a.m. is a terrible strategic decision. Turn the engine on, drive to a well-lit hotel, pay with a credit card to protect whatever cash you have left. You can panic about the stolen money tomorrow.
A terrible strategic decision. He sounded like a military commander giving a debriefing. It was bossy. It was arrogant. It was exactly what I needed. I put the car in drive. I pulled away from the apartment building, leaving David and the canceled wedding in the rearview mirror. I drove for 15 minutes until I saw the glowing red neon sign of a massive corporate hotel off the interstate. I pulled into the brightly lit parking lot, walked up to the reception desk, and paid for the room with my emergency credit card, exactly like the stranger had instructed. I took the elevator up to the 7th floor, walked into a sterile, quiet room, and collapsed onto the edge of the mattress. I pulled my phone out to plug it into the charger. I opened the text thread. I'm at a hotel. I paid with a credit card. Thank you for whatever this was. I won't text this number again. I hit send. The crisis was over. I was back to being alone. I reached to turn off the bedside lamp. I jumped, dropping my hand from the lamp. I grabbed the phone. It wasn't the stranger. It was David.
Maya, where are you? Did you really think I wouldn't get a notification when you used the joint emergency card? I know you're at the Interstate Hotel. I am 5 minutes away. We are going to talk about this.
The blood drained entirely from my face. My stomach dropped into my shoes. Oh God. The transaction alert. The stranger had told me to use a credit card to protect my cash, but I hadn't realized David had the email alerts turned on. I had led him right to me. He was 5 minutes away and he was angry. I backed into the corner of the hotel room, my entire body shaking violently. I couldn't call the police. He would run, and the $42,000 would vanish forever into the crypto account. I opened the text thread with the stranger. My fingers were shaking so badly, I kept hitting the wrong letters. I made a mistake. My fiancé got the credit card alert. He knows I'm at the Interstate Hotel. He's 5 minutes away. I hit send. I stared at the screen, tears blurring my vision. He wasn't typing back. The gray bubbles didn't appear. He was gone. I had dragged a stranger into my nightmare, and he had finally tapped out. My heart stopped. He wasn't texting, he was calling. I swiped the green button and pressed the phone to my ear. My hand was trembling against my jaw. Hello?
Give me your room number and lock the deadbolt.